Detroit Lions. They are coming out of their bye week at 5-2. They are big favorites against the Vikings this week. And also, Dan Campbell says they haven't even played up to their potential.
I really believe we hadn't played our best ball yet collectively, in all three phases. And that's really what we're trying to get to here, man, is, how can we sharpen ourselves? We know it's going to take every phase, every game's different, and one unit may have to pick up the slack, but, man, we need to start playing complete ball across the board and just keep improving.
Yeah, well, it takes time for everybody. They're good. They're a top 10 team. I mean, they've spent their money on the right spots, pass rushers, weapons. They're good. I think, there was a fear, and I was way into this, that the window closed without Ben Johnson. Offense is fine. O-line's fine. Running game's great. Goff is leading the league in a couple of categories. They're fine.
Are they? I mean, Colin, you again, I get it. You look on the surface, 5-2. Oh my gosh, leading the division, they're great. You start to drill down a little bit. Oh, let's see the good teams they've played. So they get smashed in the opener by the Packers.
Okay.
They go to Kansas City and get worked by the Chiefs. I just, again, this same deal with the Chiefs, man. You were all excited. They haven't punted in the first half, last 3 games. I mean, they're playing bad teams. So, if you really want to drill down, that win over Baltimore, remember, at the time looked amazing.
Yeah.
Baltimore was beat up. I mean, you could start to see the weaknesses for the Ravens. I look at that. Oh, you beat, the Cleveland Browns, and you beat Jake Browning. Even that win over Tampa before the bye, Tampa was exhausted, injured. That was a layup for us.
Sounds like a lot of excuses. Detroit's pretty good. And I look at Detroit right now, take the Green Bay game out. It's week 1. Week 1 now is preseason. Nobody plays any starters.
Everybody's healthy, though.
Go week 2 on. It's a good team.
Okay, so let me ask you, who are the best 3 teams in the NFC? Not best. Who would you trust the most to get to the Super Bowl in the NFC right now?
Philadelphia.
What are you forgetting? Green Bay? Seattle?
No,
Rams?
no. Seattle makes way too many mistakes. They're too young, and they're just not buttoned up yet. It's Philadelphia.
Rams or Lions?
Depends on where the game's played. In Detroit, I'd take Detroit. Fast
so Detroit
track.
Could be 3 or 4 or 5 in the NFC.
Well, that's good enough. If you're in the top 3, you're in a good space. Buffalo
so they have the
year,
Vikings, by the way, this week.
They're going to smoke them.
J.J. McCarthy?
Smoke them.
It's a Viking season, by the way. At 3-4, they have Lamar on deck. Okay.
Ooh, I almost skipped this clip, and I'm happy I did not, because there is some juice to squeeze here. I'm excited to get into this. I'm excited to get into this because we get to really layer this and unpack this in so many different ways. I can't wait. I can't wait. Before I get started, please, Detroit Lions fans, do not forget to watch this video full length. And please do not forget to subscribe. When you guys do that, we build something special. You guys have been amazing. When you guys watch the full length of the video, as I'm showing the wrong pictures here, this is what happens. It just goes through the roof. We've added thousands and thousands of Detroit Lions fans here recently, and I want to keep doing it. I told you guys all this week is really crazy for me, and I'm just real talk. I need something to hold on to. I really do. There's just a lot going on in personal life right now, and so I'm going absolutely positively. I might be making like 20 videos a day for these next 5, 6, 7 days, whatever it is. So I'm trying to build something really, really special here, man. I really am. I'm trying to build something that is so rooted, and I really mean that, rooted in this sports talk world, a place where we really have a voice. And I really mean it. I see it as we, not me. This is not about me. This is about all of us. And so if you guys can subscribe, if you can watch the full length of the videos, it is without a shadow of a doubt the best way to support the growth of this channel. Now let's get into it. Okay. I love this. I love this. I love this. I love when logic is misapplied. I love it. I try to follow logic. It's at the core of any of my takes. I'm always trying to figure out the logic. And my best friend in the world, whenever we're trying to figure stuff out, whether it's a big decision, a small decision, whatever it is, we'll often ask each other like, hey, this is what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about moving to Detroit to start a painting business. This is what I'm thinking. I love Detroit. I love the fans. I love the culture out there. It's affordable living, blah, 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 blah. Am I thinking about this correctly? Is my logic flawed here? Is there any flaws in my logic here? Right? And then we'll have that conversation. Well, listen, you know what? Like here's why it's a good idea. Here's why it's a bad idea, et cetera, et cetera. But think about it. Think about it. J-Mac is saying that the Lions haven't really beat anyone great yet. And on a surface level, that's fine. We can accept those statements as truth statements because I'm willing to unpack games in that way. I'm personally willing, and follow this before you get mad at me. I'm willing to say, yeah, you know what? That Baltimore Ravens game isn't as impressive as it originally maybe felt because of how the Ravens really were not playing great ball and they were unfolding and unraveling. And you could say that they got beat by the Chiefs. Now, in that specific game, right, it was 30-17, and I told you, I came on here that very next day and said, listen, the score obviously got deeper, but the reality is that you score that touchdown on that opening drive, and Amon-Ra St. Brown catches that ball on 4th and 2, 9,999 times out of 10,000, and he drops it. It just is what it is. That completely transforms the game. And you want to talk about that the Bucs are banged up and that the Ravens were banged up and this and that. The Lions have been banged up, obviously, specifically defensively. So where's the benefit of the doubt there? And if you're now saying, well, listen, the Chiefs aren't that good. They're beating bad teams, which I agree. Like, I agree that the Chiefs are beating bad teams, but then this is what leads me to then, what team is playing great right now? What team is healthy? Name the teams that are fully healthy and playing their great best ball right now. It doesn't, and that those teams are now beating other great teams. Like, it doesn't really exist right now. If this was last season and we saw the bona fide Chiefs and the bona fide Bills and the bona fide Eagles and the bona fide Lions before they started getting injured, then I could understand. You could have more confidence. But you look around the league and you're like, yeah, well, the Eagles beat the Chiefs when they were all injured. They beat the Cowboys week 1. They lost to the Broncos. Yeah, they beat the Giants, but they beat the Minnesota Vikings with Carson Wentz. And you could say that again about the Bucs. Who have the Bucs beat, right? Like they've been really fortunate in a lot of situations. If the ball just slightly bounces in a different direction, rather than whatever the heck their record is, I think what are they 6-2 or 5 and whatever. They could have a lot. I mean, we could say that about so many of these teams right now. So many of these teams and so many of these individual games right now. So it's just like when you're looking around the league, the Detroit Lions are clearly right there. Now listen, can the Baltimore Ravens get healthy and start to play high quality football? Can the Buffalo Bills feel like they go back to truly who the Buffalo Bills are? Can the Kansas City Chiefs, which I do believe are a great team, truly solidify themselves as a great team? Can the Eagles, get back to their Super Bowl form? If all those things happen and the Lions still kind of have some of the struggles that they have, then sure, then you can legitimately be like, yeah, who did they beat, blah, 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 blah. But right now, the way how this is all unfolding, I don't know. The Commanders are a mess. Their defense is a mess. Jaden Daniels isn't playing. Debo and Terry McLaurin are in and out of the lineup. They lost their running back. They're all banged up. When are the Bucs getting healthy? When are the Minnesota Vikings get great quarterback play? When are any of these things happening right now? I don't know. So if you're lacking faith in the Lions, then the reality is that there's room to lack faith in every single team. Who have the Green Bay Packers beat technically? I mean, they beat the Lions. You don't think the Lions are that great in the first place then. So it's like, well, who have the Packers beat? They lost to the Browns. They beat the Cardinals. Congrats. Right? They beat the Steelers with old man Aaron Rodgers and a terrible defense. Congrats. You don't understand? No matter, you can always paint it that way. And again, sometimes it's appropriate. Going into the game against the Buccaneers, I talked about that, about saying hey, you know what? Listen, I'm a supporter of the Lions. I believe in the Lions, but I'm not talking up the win against some of these other teams that I don't think are great right now or playing great. I always do consider who are you playing. The quality of the opponent. To me, not all wins are created equal, and not all losses are created equal. I very much look at it through that lens. We only ever for why we don't do that in why we do that in college football, but there's such an allergy to that in the NFL. I'll never understand, because there is a fundamental difference between beating the Kansas City Chiefs and beating the Cincinnati Bengals with Jake Browning. There's a massive difference. Losing a close game to the Kansas City Chiefs, 32-29, is more impressive to me and more important to me to see than beating the Bears 52-21. That's how I operate. And it's served me well in the past. And so right now, the Lions really only have so many barometer games. It's not the Vikings. It's not the Commanders. It is another game against the Packers. It will be against the Eagles, and it will be the Rams. Right now, those are their three hardest games. The Steelers, we're still answering questions about them. The Cowboys can be feisty. The Bears, divisional, feisty. Maybe by week 10, maybe Jane Daniels is back. I don't know. And even when he comes back, I don't know how healthy he is. He's missed a lot of football this season so far, so it's not like I'm expecting, prime, ready to go, Jaden Daniels. So, it's just, and again, the Eagles have to answer questions as well. I don't know exactly what their schedule looks like within the next couple of weeks. And so going up against the Lions will also be an important game for the Eagles, because maybe the Eagles haven't have it all figured out quite yet, right? Maybe they're still going through issues with A.J. Brown, and the passing game has looked good against the Giants and the Vikings, but I don't know if that continues. And the run game was great against the Giants, but will they be able to run? All these teams are still having a lot of questions to be asked. So if you're going to have questions that you need to ask about the Lions, well, then there's also other questions that you need to ask about all these other teams. And with that logic, then, we're still trying to figure out, and there would be no logical reason to then downplay the Lions or have strong questions about the Lions, but confidence in these other teams. That's just the way I'm looking at it right now. You can't have confidence in the Rams, but a lack of confidence in the Lions. You can't have confidence in the Eagles, but a lack of confidence in the Lions. You can't have confidence in the Lions, but then lack confidence in the Kansas City Chiefs. You can't say, they beat the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Chiefs aren't that good, but then use that as a frame of reference as to, this team beat when they were injured and this or that. It just all becomes too messy. It becomes really messy, which is why I was excited to kind of drill down on it, because you kind of have to make sense of messy logic. And it was messy. It was messy, but the Lions are in a great position here. Because is it officially JJ McCarthy starting for week 9? I know Carson is getting surgery. So I don't know what the quarterback status is for the Vikings. Yeah, I haven't seen any true confirmation for the Minnesota Vikings, so I'll just kind of leave it open-ended. But again, you're going up against the Commanders, then you have the Giants, the Cowboys, the Steelers, the Vikings again, and the Bears. The 3 toughest games: Eagles, Packers, Rams. And question marks around teams like the Steelers. I think the Steelers can still potentially be good, but they certainly have to fix their defense. And if not, then, by week 16, you're going to most likely wish you were the Lions and not the Steelers. And by week 17, you're certainly going to be happy that you're the Lions and not the Minnesota Vikings. And I don't know, maybe that week 18 game will matter against the Chicago Bears. My guess is probably not. I hope, from an entertainment perspective, that was great when we got essentially an extra playoff game between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. I know, Lions fans and Vikings fans don't necessarily want that, but from an entertainment perspective, it's great. It was an extra playoff game, and it was awesome. The intensity, the crowd was through the roof. Yeah, we will see. We will see. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Detroit Lions? That they haven't, not only have they not played their best football yet, as Dan Campbell put it, but as J-Mac put it, they haven't They haven't really beaten anyone either, so shouldn't have confidence in them. Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.